Namaste everyone. Welcome to day 15 of 21 days of wisdom sharing and Buddha and Yashodhara. Today, our guest speaker Ajay Babu Bala is a software engineer by profession and he's practicing Anapanasati from last 3 years. And from last 1 year, he got connected to Ramtha wisdom and he says his purpose is to spread the Ramtha wisdom. And today he's going to share about levitating Buddha on Ramtha's version of Buddha. So my heartful welcome to Ajay. Please take over.
Hi, all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Masters. Thank you so much. So, actually, I think as part of Buddha Purnama, so we are discussing all related to Buddha, right? So today we are discussing Buddha's neural net for levitation. So, actually, this is a book written by, not written by, this lecture was given by Ramtha. Ramtha was a master teacher. Actually, he is the seventh plane of master. We call it as a god in terms of our language, but he is a master teacher. So, who used to teach spirituality, or he has a separate school called Ramtha School of Enlightenment in USA. So, through JJ Knight, so she was the US lady. So, through her, uh, she teaches so all this wonderful knowledge. So as part of that, so we have a book called Buddha's Levitation. So Buddha's neural levitation. So the specialty of Ramtha is he teaches all the knowledge with neuroscience and quantum physics, and he will take all whatever the physics we learned since childhood. So he applies that knowledge in spirituality. So that's the beauty of Ramtha. So it will reach to all the people, and sometimes he explains with nature also. So based on the context, he explains. So mostly he explains with whatever the technology or whatever the science is finding out. So with that find outs, he explains the spirituality, be it quantum physics, be it neuroscience, um, be it latest things happening, or quantum entanglement, so or epigenetics. So we already, I think epigenetics came into existence recently, right? Maybe 10 years back or 15 years back. He spoke way back 1977. He established that school since 1980 or something. You can see from that since 40 years or 45 years, he teaching that. So right now we are seeing that science is agreeing and science is understanding that. So in the same way, we are going to see how Buddha was levitated. Or for example, whenever we see Buddha, we are seeing Buddha in lotus, right? So actually, he is not sitting under lotus. He is just some feet above that lotus. That means he is levitating on lotus. So what does that levitating means? We are understanding that levitation in terms of brain perspective and in terms of that physical body perspective, we understand that. So all our brain Ramtha teachings he explains in terms of brain, because we came to existence in plane of this demonstration, or plane of this earth, or plane of terra. We call earth name as a terra. Ramtha called it Te. This earth name was terra. So we came into this plane of consciousness to experience that God with this human body, right? So we have 7 level of consciousness. Out of the 7 level of consciousness, we came into earth to experience the God, to experience that divinity. So we take this human form, or we take this sophisticated vehicle that called human body. So through that human body, we're experiencing the God with the limitedness also. So with the within limited body, we're experiencing that unlimited godly nature. We're experiencing that unlimited God consciousness. That is our purpose. So as part of that, this brain is so important that it can experience that 7 level of consciousness. It can experience that at vision frequency, infrared frequency, visible light frequency, or observed frequency, visible light frequency. or be it X-ray frequency or gamma frequency, unlimited frequency. So with this brain, it can hold that 7 level of frequencies and we can experience that. For example, when we are looking that, I am experiencing you. When I close my eyes, if I do astral travel, experiencing, right? So once I complete the astral travel, how would my brain knows that just now completed the astral travel? Because brain can hold that memory, brain can hold that frequency. Similarly, if I mean meditation, if you see any master, if you feel that I am God, so it is the seventh level of consciousness. How that brain knows you are feeling that unlimited consciousness? Because it can hold some level of consciousness. This is the sophisticated vehicle in entire universe. This is the entire universe. What is the best creation in that entire universe is your human brain. It can hold some level of consciousness. So similarly, today we see just 5 minutes to 10 minutes, I will explain what are the different parts of brain and how Ramtha see the brain in differently. So, and I'll explain 5 to 10 minutes that so that we can understand that later topic of Buddha, neuronal levitation so easily. So let me share my screen. So if anything you don't understand or anything going fast, let me know so that I can explain another time, one more time. So are you able to see my screen?
Yeah, we can see.
So this is a RSC school PowerPoint, or you can call it as their point of view to understand human brain or seven level of consciousness. So in that, as I told you just now, we have 7 level of consciousness, or we can represent that with the 7 chakras. Our important thing to remember is our 7 chakras are located in your ethnic layer. I won't call it as a body also because it is a layer. It is a fabric, small fabric uh, thing. I think it has 7 level of 7 level of chakras, and each chakra point into 7 level of consciousness. Or each chakra represents 7 level of bodies, 7 bodies. Okay, you can call it 7 bodies, you can call it 7 chakras, you can call it 7 level of consciousness. Okay, it is an analogy. So here we in ethnic layer, it's mixed with our physical body. It is under our body, it is above our body also. So that we call Nadi Mandala, or 2,70,000, 72,000 Nadis we have. So for example, if you know, if anyone went to Nadi therapy, so just they will take a small pin, they will punch here to release that energy. So that means our ethnic layer is intercombined with our physical body. Okay. So that's how you understand that. So it's not a separate body. So you can call it as a layer, ethnic layer. How snake has that layer, right? So similarly we have that.
Ajay,
So
Ajay, can you make full screen, please?
full screen. Okay, I'll do it. Is it fine?
Yeah, little bit of zooming is fine, but it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
So this is a way Ramtha depicts the picture. So it won't dissect as normal our physicians or doctors dissects. He represent brain in different way in order to understand that. So in order to understand the concept, so basically he picture out brain in this way. So basically Ramtha teaches that so brain we can divide into 3 parts. One is this is called yellow brain. If you can see my face, whatever you are seeing my hand, this is called yellow brain. Okay. So this is the neurocortex. Neurocortex or yellow brain. Okay. In this neurocortex, this place, especially this place in Telugu, we call it Nudru, right? So this place we call it as a forefront, frontal lobe. Okay. So I'll tell you what is the use of that. So and back you have, if you have ears, so exactly right side of that you have lower cerebellum. This part is lower cerebellum. And in between that neurocortex and lower cerebellum, you can find that midbrain. So in midbrain, especially we have thalamus and hypothalamus and pineal gland. And we have pituitary and hippocampus, amygdala. So these are the glands we have. And lower cerebellum doesn't have any glands, but is mostly it contains our journey, our soul journey. It contains every journey we made since point zero from this level of consciousness, the evolution, the journey into earth plane, and what are the evolution we are doing. That entire thing it contains this lower cerebellum. Involution means from point zero or from God, our Purnatma, we came, right? From that time, it contains every part of our journey, and it contains how many incarnation we have in our earth plane and what is the evolution we are going to do in that. Everything it has. Okay, that's why we call it lower cerebellum as a God consciousness or God. So on front lobe we call it as a seat of the God, and midbrain we call it as a psychic brain or psychic abilities. Whatever we have, levitation, or astral travel, third eye visions, or intuition, telepathy, whatever you call it, all psychic abilities we are depicting in midbrain, which is in orange color. Okay, so so especially in midbrain, it has a pineal gland. Okay, so to understanding purpose, midbrain we can call it as a pineal gland. Okay, so I will tell you what is the difference between yellow brain or neurocortex, midbrain, or lower cerebellum. So neurocortex is all about your personality, your attitude, your language processing ability, your analytical ability, your thinking capability. That is called as a neurocortex, or your attitude, your personality. Okay, the way you think, it resides here. Okay, that is neurocortex. Because it contains number of neurons, and in midbrain it contains that gland called pineal gland, which is a hormone, so which is responsible for your psychic abilities. All our psychic abilities we call it as a pineal gland. Sometimes our spiritual language we call it as a third eye, right? Actually, it's not eye, so it has a pineal gland. So it will learn that it will produce that holographic picture. That's why we are able to see some pictures here. Okay, that's responsible by pineal gland. So all our information, whatever we save, whatever we think, so after some time or after few days, which we are doing as a habit, that all things were storing here, our beliefs or habits, whatever we call it. So everything will store here, not in terms of habits, not in terms of belief, but all the information will store here. When information coming through front lobe, where we are deciding that what type of information, whether it is belief, what is habit, whether it is picture. So we are defining that here. So it is a pure energy form or it is a picture form. When you come to here, that energy or the data we're representing in terms of we're understanding that energy as we're differentiating that energy or we're differentiating that particular frequency. So how can you know that when you see apple, how can you know apple? Because this already it is defining here that image or maybe that particular frequency are defined here, so that we are able to understand whatever we are seeing apple, that is apple. So similarly for all things. So how are you understand language? How are you seeing images? How are you understanding that? So by you are seeing images through sensors, but you are understanding all your sensors through your neurocortex or yellow brain. So it is the language processor unit, or you can call it as a decipher. We call it as it will convert code into language. Any secret code into it will convert into language. That is the place it is called neurocortex. So if we are going to understand, so when you are doing meditation, that whatever the breath and heart functions and temperature functions, all are residing in your pineal gland or your peripheral system, or you can call it as a autonomic system, central nervous system. So which are already, there are involuntary functions, your breath, your heartbeat, your temperature. They are called as involuntary functions. So which is not controlled in conscious brain or neurocortex. If we keep our breath and heart function in neurocortex, sometimes we forget. So that's why it is under midbrain. Every minute we have a breath. Every second we have a heartbeat, because it is under function of midbrain, which is autonomous. It will do automatically. So that's why when you observe your breath, which is under midbrain, which is under psychic brain, automatically you are moving to neurocortex to, or you are transcending your personality and you are connecting to higher level of consciousness, because already breath is under control of psychic brain or midbrain or pineal gland control. So that's why we are not altering the breath. We are not doing that kumbhaka or rechaka. We are not inhaling and exhaling. Whatever already happening, the breath, we are observing the breath. So while observing the breath, we are moving this our consciousness from yellow brain or consciousness from body mind consciousness, and we were moving to this midbrain or psychic brain, so that we could able to see that astral travel, or we could able to do astral travel, or we could experience that thought visions. We could experience that intuitions, because we are moving that our consciousness from our body mind consciousness, we call it as a neurocortex or yellow brain, to we are moving to midbrain, because the path is already on control of midbrain. When you do not alter that, so you can easily move your midbrain. That's why I say observe your natural breath, observe your tranquil breath, so that we can easily move to our midbrain. That's the reason we should not alter our breath. If you alter your breath, that means you're thinking and you're analyzing that. So that means your breath will control will come to neurocortex. Till then, you will be in your body mind consciousness. Unless until you don't change your breath, you don't alter your breath, you can easily move to midbrain. Okay. So you have any questions on that?
I think everybody is good.
Yeah, thank you. So that's important. Okay. So all our information, so Ramtha says our brain is the king, body is the kingdom. So whatever information you're getting from sensors, either your eyes, either your nose, ears, or touch, or tongue, so everything that information come to your brain, and your brain will process that and you will send the signal. So that's why your brain, we can call it as a sender and receiver. So it has 7 level of frequencies and 7 level of glands, and it will take all 7 level of consciousness, or all 7 level of frequencies, all 7 level of vibrations. It can hold and it can interpret. That means it can understand 7 level of consciousness, and it can exhibit, or it can send that 7 level of consciousness. That's the beauty of our human brain. So in golden days, we don't have this neurocortex this much big. So recently it was developed, I think 35,000 or 45,000 years back. From since then, we have large neurocortex, the large yellow brain. So we are using only 10% of our brain, 90% is empty. So this is a place, this is a master place, this is called a Brahma place. So this is Nudri, some people in our spirituality called this is a Brahma Kalarata, or Brahma writes our destiny here, right? So that means this is the neuropath, or this is the way of our thinking, this is our attitude sits here. So whatever the personality, whatever the thought process we have, entire sits here, that decides our destiny. Because what you think, so you become, right? So you create your reality. Whatever, say for example, if someone asks 100 rupees, if I want to think any thought, my thought process here, my limited beliefness here, my belief system here. So everything will exist here. So if you are limited belief system, the limited personality, your reality is limited. When you are in unlimited belief system, or not belief system, if you are unlimited personality, you have, your mind is open to receive all type of information. If you don't have judgment, if you don't have lack, if you don't have what you call disbelief, so you're in abundant state of mind. That means your personality is enhanced, your personality is evaluated. So that means it is the same part of brain, but that path is different. Earlier we have, for example, when I see a lizard, when I see any snake, I used to have fear. So that means my neuropath is connected to one particular path. Right now, I modified neuropath. I said, okay, it is also creature. It is also divine creature. When I said that, when I do affirmation, my neuropath is changed. Okay. So, but same brain, but internal neuropath is changed. We have billions neuropaths. We have so many neuropaths. How can you, for example, when I say yellow, some people will understand that as a, some people immediately could see sun in your brain. Some people immediately see banana in our brain. Some people immediately see some particular thing in their brain. So what makes difference? I said only yellow. What is the making difference is that yellow is how they process in their brain, that makes difference. That means the neurological path, how it formed in brain, that makes a difference. So that's why your is different. Your thinking process is different than my thinking process. So that's the important of yellow brain and neurocortex. This is our manifestation process. This is our thinking processing, that is the thought process. So how Ramtha defines thought is, so everything conscious energy, we have 7 level of consciousness energy, it is around us. If you take conscious energy and convert that into electrical, neurological and chemical form, that we call as a hologram or thought or picture. So if we can understand better way, we have ocean flowing on. From that ocean we are getting one particular tide or wave. So that wave represent as a thought. So unlimited consciousness, we can represent that as a ocean. Out of that ocean, we are getting some wave, right? So that wave they represent as a thought, which is also part of ocean. See, wave also part of ocean. Similarly, that is also part of unlimited consciousnness. But the speck of that consciousness we are taking, that we are converting into different matter or different frequency. So in universe and in entire cosmos, we don't create energy or we don't destroy energy. We can only convert our we can interpret that energy. So that what are the consciousness energy in wave form that we are taking, that using the brain, we are converting that into picture, and later we are converting that as a chemical, or that later we are converting that as a creation or physical form. So we are taking conscious energy. Out of the conscious energy, we're taking some part of that, we call it as a thought. The thought we are holding here and we are converting that as a chemical. For example, when I close my eyes, I am visualizing that I am eating orange. I am taking that conscious and I'm taking thought as I'm eating orange. So when I say I am eating orange, automatically some chemical is releasing in my body. Automatically, I am getting some what you call saliva in my mouth. Okay, so that means already some chemical reaction is happening, some creation is happening in my body when I visualizing the thought. So that means your picture, whatever the thought you are taking, that already become the manifested into matter in the form of saliva. So similarly, your brain will take the consciousness and will create your physical reality. That's the purpose of brain. Okay. So whatever we are doing our physical reality, whatever we manifest your physical reality is happening through brain. Brain is a hardware, mind is a software. So using your hardware, you are processing that information and you are creating reality using your brain. You are using your brain. Brain is a hardware, you can call it. So our mind is a software, or you can call it as a software as programming. So we are programming using this brain as a computer. Okay. And for computer also you require power, right? Without power, computer also doesn't work. The power is consciousness, energy, or thought. Okay. If you can understand that, we can go to next topic. Do you have any questions?
No,
Hello, Andy.
Hi, sir.
I think it's very high level, but very informative as well at the same time. Maybe it's a broader topic, I believe. But in case if we need to connect, can we connect with you offline?
Yeah, sure. So actually, sir, we studied in our since childhood, sir. I think from 5th class we have this topic. We forgot that.
No, I don't have.
Yeah, we autonomous system we forgot it. We forgot it midbrain. Everything is in childhood, sir. 10th class syllabus. But we are
Right.
interpreting in different ways. Spiritual way we are interpreting. That's the difference. So already we studied since lower classes. But
Oh,
but we
okay.
forgot. That's the thing. I think if you refresh in I think 2-3 days, you'll reconnect easily. So only important thing we remember is everything happening in our brain, sir. What is our karma? What is our spiritual terms are saying Brahma returning our karma here, right? Brahma is not returning. Whatever we perceive here, how you think here, it will define your destiny. So if you, for example, before our meditation, we are thinking we are limited. We are not belongs to human body, or we have only human body, or we have only mind. So when you came to meditation, your thought process changed. Where it changed? It changed in yellow brain. That means the neuron path is changed. Neuronal path is changed. Neurons has tiny particles in the brain. It processes the information. Okay, so that's how we are interpreting the brain here. So already everything is happening in our brain, but we are reading that in terms of scientifically. Yeah, as I said, I think if you can connect me after this class, we can understand better. So because without this, you can't understand today's topic. That's why I'm telling this that much.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Andy.
So this today's topic is Buddha's neural net for levitation. So how many people know what is levitation? Levitation means, so with our physical body, if you are floating on air, that we call it as a levitation. Levitation. So generally, Buddhist monks, some people does that levitation, right? Have you ever seen levitation in YouTube? Have you seen levitation?
Yeah, we have seen some pictures, but not the
Pictures?
videos.
Yeah, I'll show you direct video. So that will imprint. So this is the best video I have.
You have power of levitation.
And we can't
And
see
as a magician, this is something that I'm fascinated with.
video.
Witness it.
I can't. Sound is not getting.
Great.
Hello.
Yeah, I mean, we can't see the YouTube, but we're still seeing the PDF.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you did not share that.
I'll share the screen.
Sure.
I got it. Are you able to see?
Buddhist monk performance. Yes, yeah.
Ajay, one more thing. It is restricted and the video will get blocked in YouTube.
I think it's gone.
You have power of levitation.
So are you able to see voice, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, this is the video.
Ajay, if you play from YouTube, they are
Looking to take the
have
next
some,
step
Yeah,
in your career,
uh,
you have
they
to get
have
the
some
AWS
copyright
course on
issues, then our YouTube video will be
So-
blocked.
I didn't get what is that?
That's fine. I think you can just show the picture, just an image instead of playing, because again,
I think it's not copyright. It doesn't have any copyright. So he's the levitation. Already doing that. See.
You guys see this?
It's floating.
yeah.
So you got it right. So he's floating in air. Some will float more feet, but he's floating. So you got it right. So we understand what is the science behind that. What is the how brain is processing that. So we can understand in Ramtha concept. So basically, this is a book. This is called generally these books we call it as a fireside series. Firing and wiring. You know, right? So generally, neuronets or neuropaths we call it as which are smallest particles in brain. Those neuropaths or neuronets will firing and wiring. They will fire. For example, if I say 10 plus 10 is equal to 20, if you want to say that 20 is equal to 20, if you want to process that, the number of neurons should fire and rewiring that. That's we call wiring and rewiring concept. So whatever you can perceive, whatever you want to speak, whatever you want to think, everything should happening through neural net firing only. Then that is the way you understand in physical world. So this is a fireside series books out of I think 14, 15 books we have. Fireside series books. Out of that, one of the book is Neuronet for Levitation. So in order to do the levitation, what type of attitude you have, what type of mental ability you should have to do that levitation. That's all about this book. And in order to do that levitation, opening the lotus for the 1,000 petals. We have Sahasrara, we say, right? So that is called pituitary gland. So it has the 1,000 petals. So if in order to do levitation, is a representation of your lotus, that opening that 1,000 petals. So levitation is a symbol of that lotus with opening the 1,000 petals. Okay, that's how Buddha sit. Generally, if you see any picture, he sits is levitated on that lotus flower. That is a representation of opening our Sahasrara in 1,000 petals. Okay, so basically it has different topics, but directly today I'll go to I'll show how neuron. I'll go to page number 22. I'll show you how neurons will have, how they process, and I'll go to next topic, levitation topic. I'll go. So with limited time, we'll see. So in this topic, I'll explain 2 minutes. So building supplies for the monument place called your life. So for example, if you think your brain is a workshop, so this is the workshop place. So in this workshop, whatever the information you pass through, that material, raw material will go to your midbrain and your lower cerebellum. Okay, so that's how your brain is so important. Whatever information you kept, it will manifest that. For example, if you're keeping lack, if you're keeping suffering, I'm suffering, I'm not healthy, I'm not worthy, If you're keeping that information, it will manifest that. Whatever information you're keeping here, whatever you're contemplating, whatever your common thought, it will manifest here. So that's our entire this. Whatever is applying here, it will manifest that in our life. So this is the way neurons look like. So there are billion neurons we have in our body. So this firing between one neuron in neuron central contains DNA, and this is the way it will flow your current in our neurons, and it will fire that, and it will understand. Okay, you're saying yellow, or you're saying some word. For example, if I say dog, how will that brain understand? There is a separate neural path. When I say that word, it will when I say dog, my mouth producing that vibration, right? You take that vibration through your ears, and will go to your neurocortex. It will interpret that. It will decipher that. So it will convert that frequency into language. That's a part of your neurocortex. So that's the thing. So that is enough for today. But we'll go to next the topic, levitation. And before going to levitation, just we will understand some concept. For example, are able to see this frequency, right? This is in music we call it as a B flat. So we have B and C sharp, something we have in music, right? So this is a B flat. This is a specific frequency. So within same just volume change, but same frequency. So here frequency changing, but within same frequency we are changing volume. For example, 98.3 FM radio. So 98.3 FM radio, you can hear in low volume, you can hear it high volume. But similarly, it is only 98.3 FM radio. Similarly, we have low flat B, and here low flat B, but you are changing only volume. When you change volume, so that it will exactly the middle point is same, but only that amplitude is changing. Amplitude means the volume is changing. Okay, so still it is low flat. If we go to here, the low flat become high flat, because no longer that it is a middle, it has that connecting point, but it is here, it is breaking that line 2 times or 3 times. So that means its frequency is more. Right, from to left to right, the frequency is changing, and top to bottom, the volume is changing. Even the low flat will have same frequency, that volume is changing, but left to right, that frequency is changing. It has same volume. For example, if you in mobile, if you have same volume, but you're changing different FM radio, you should have 91.3 if you're keeping 91.5. So that entire frequency will change, but same volume. Okay, that's the way context. I will tell you why we are learning this. So I told you, right? So we have a 7 level of consciousness. 7 level of consciousness means, So in your it is we have a human body. That human body is vibrating in Hertzian frequency. That earth frequency. What is the earth frequency? 8 hertz. 8 hertz. That's the frequency of our body. Okay. So when you are doing meditation, when you are observing, we are now right now we are in now state, because your earth is in your breath happening in a present moment. So when you observe your breath, automatically you will go to the present moment. So you are no longer in past, you are no longer in future. You are not thinking past, you are not thinking future. So you are aligned with your godly nature, you are aligned with your now state, or you are in present moment. So in your present moment, you have n number of possibilities. So when you are now state, you can go to your future, you can go to your past. For example, when you are in past, no longer go to future unless until you come to now state. So that's why important. You observe your breath, you directly go to now moment. Now moment without past, without future. Okay, all possible exist in your now moment. Okay, when you observe natural breath, breath is happening in right now moment or present moment. So when you observe your breath naturally, obviously you are in you are in that present moment. Vartaman will call it, right? Telugu, right? You are in that present moment. So that means all your possibilities and all your properties will be here, and God is always in the present moment. Okay. So if we understand that, so when you take any thought, you can think that thought as when you're thinking that thought, and you can thinking in terms of past, you can think in terms of future, or you can think in terms of present moment. So, but brain doesn't know what is past, what is future, everything doesn't know. So, for example, if we close our eyes, if you remember, I think 10 days back I had a nice coffee in some coffee place. So already you were remembering that, but it will happen all past. But when you recollect that memory, brain doesn't know it is happening future or past. It will produce that hormone. Okay. So similarly, when you think in future, for example, if tomorrow exam is there, so you're getting a little tension, or you're feeling some stress. So automatically brain produce that stress hormones. So brain doesn't know what is future and what is past. That's why. So future and present, past, all present in right now moment or present moment. So in that present moment, we have n number of properties. Okay, n number of ways it can happen. So if you take any thought, if you can really feel that moment in present, automatically it will manifest in other frequencies, and after some part of time, it will happening in our reality. That's how manifestation will work, right? So similarly, when you close your eyes, so when you observe that Lotus symbol, which is representation of opening our Sahasrara, which contains 1,000 petals. When you focus on that, your brain doesn't know it is past or future or something. It is already, when you observe that focus intensely without altering, without connecting to your past. So when we observe focusly on that image, Lotus symbol, so it will understand and it will interpret our brain that as a Sahasrara, and opening the Sahasrara into 1,000 petals. So when your Sahasrara opening or a number of neurons are firing, automatically you will levitate. So in scientific way, we learn that. So earlier we saw low flat frequency and high flat frequency. Or low flat, we are interchanging the volume. So by remembering that volume, you can understand this concept. For example, your body is vibrating in 8 hertz frequency. So when I take infrared frequency thought, for example, levitation is my thought. So it is in future thought. So I am taking that thought and focusing that levitating thought. So when I do that, so when intensely focusing on that, my consciousness is no longer in human body. My consciousness is on that future. But right now I am focusing using my brain. Automatically, your body vibration will change. Your body, that volume will change. Okay, that frequency will change. So you will same body, same Ajay, but I am vibrating in different frequency. Instead of vibrating in 8 hertz frequency, I am vibrating in different frequency, which is infrared, which is my future, one day future. So when I do that, automatically my body will levitate. So in order that my body will levitate, my neural net firing will be happening in 1,000 billion times. So that much energy we are holding here. I'm not holding that pure levitation image. That image will convert it into infrared frequency, which is our next immediate future. We are in right now Hz frequency, our earth frequency 8 Hz. Our immediate future is infrared frequency. So when you take infrared frequency thought, which is levitation, something like that, when you are holding a neural net, this is the path you are holding. When you hold that frequency here, so automatically you will levitate. So how much time you should focus on that? Unless until you focus intensely and no longer have whether it happen or not. When you no longer have that disbelief, when you no longer has that lack feeling. So when you have intense focus on that symbol called lotus, which has 1,000 petals open, when you do that visualization here, when you focus on that symbol, so your body vibration no longer in 8 Hz, it will vibrate in different level of frequency. That means it will be in future. So Ramtha says, so Buddha right now, he is in future timeline, future immortal timeline, which is around 7,000, already 2,000, 5,000 years already happened. So still he is in 2,000 more years in that timeline. So that's how he levitated, or when he Sahasrara opened, he automatically levitated. Body is automatically levitated because the physical brain, which is neurocortex, is no longer holding that Hz frequency or that holographic picture. It is holding that infrared frequency thought and holding here as an image. So automatically your body is vibrating much more than Hz frequency, no longer affecting gravity. So what is gravity? So gravity is, if you are vibrating in 8 Hz frequency, you are under gravity. If you are vibrating more than 8 Hz frequency, so you are eating the time, eating that gravity. So that means you are in anti-gravity state. Obviously, you will levitate. Recently, we saw it. Astronaut, so Sunita Williams went to some aerospace. I think it is 400 kilometers to Earth plane. I think from there is no gravity, right? They're floating in the air. Similarly, when your body frequency is changing, see, how can you sit in your chair? Because the chair frequency matching with your body frequency or earth frequency. For example, your chair is moving in rapid speed. You can't sit in the chair, right? So you cannot hold that. Similarly, when earth is vibrating in some frequency that we call 8 Hz frequency. So when you take that lofty thought, when you take that unlimited thought, so when you hold that lotus symbol, when you focus on that symbol after some point of time, so the body frequency is changing because the neural firing is happening. That firing is lot of energy, and your electron spin will change. Your attitude is changing. You are no longer in past. You are no longer thinking that you are as a human. You are no longer thinking as I am some personality. So when you transcend that personality, and automatically your neural path is or neural firing is happening, and billions of neurons are firing. That because of that firing, you are getting enormous energy to your body. Because of the energy, you are floating, you are levitating. So that's a science behind that levitation Buddha. So all you want to do is, all you need to do is, so Ramtha says in last chapter, he says that every music, for example, low flat has a 7 level of frequencies. For example, we can play 98.3 FM radio in different volumes, right? So similarly, when every music has its own rhythm. So that brain can interpret that rhythm. Brain can understand that secret language. Brain can understand that hidden symbols in that. It can understand and interpret that. So that's why when you listen Pratisar flute or some other music, Western music or some other Carnatic music, you feel more. You are feeling high level of consciousness, or you're feeling I'm no longer in this earth plane. I'm no longer this social consciousness. Okay, so that's the reason is because of through music you are taking that energy, and your brain is interpreting that and converting converting that hidden symbols, or taking that music and interpreting into high level of consciousness. So that's how music is very important when you do meditation. So without music also you can do, but with music in starting stage, so it will help a lot to transcend our personality, to transcend our social consciousness, to transcend our lack feeling, disbelief feeling, or victimization feeling, or suffering pain feeling, or judgment feelings. So in order to transcend that personality, so you require that music. So music will enhance our frequency because the brain will can understand and it will match that your body frequency to that particular music frequency. So that's why we are transcending our personality by through music. So everything happening in our brain. So for example, we have left brain and right brain. Left brain more for analyzing, right brain more for creativity. When you do in childhood, we do this activity, right? So our teacher used to give us what you call a teacher used to say, used to say do like this for 10 times or 20 times, right? Punishment. So with that punishment, we used to hold our hands like this. That means your right hand is holding left ear, our left hand is holding your right ear. That means your right body is control of left brain, your left body is under control of right brain. When you exchange that, your left brain, right brain is working together. Okay. So similarly, when you clasp your hands, your left brain and right brain are working together. So sometimes our left brain will work, sometimes right brain will work more. So when you hold your hands and cross your legs, so clasp your hands, so left brain, right brain working together, that is called harmony. So we have harmony on life, harmony on brain, and we call it as a peace. So when you do that, so automatically, so you are no longer in this body mind consciousness. You transcend that easily. So when you hold any thought here long enough time, so thought will taken from front lobe or neurocortex to your midbrain. So in midbrain will project, midbrain will send it to your universe or your that cosmos. So when your thought will send it to cosmos, it will come back and manifest. So this is science. So similarly, Buddha in that deep meditation state, so he is holding that future. He is right now, even though we can see it in physical plane, but his consciousness not in physical plane. His consciousness in future, which is in infrared frequency. It is one day future. He is ahead of us, one day ahead of us. So with that frequency, so he is in future state of life, future timeline. So that's he is levitating. So because we are always thinking in our past, always we are inclined to our past, we are always looking our future, or always looking our life in terms of our past experiences. So when you leave that past experiences, which are right now present in neuronal pathways, when you change that path, when you change your thinking pattern, when you do affirmations, when you do meditation, your neurons will change, your path will change. That's why we are dissolving our past. That is the way we are changing our future. Okay. So when you no longer you're in past, ultimately your future will change because you are not inclined to your past. So similarly, when Buddha doing that meditation, he is no longer Buddha, you no longer son of that Suddhodana. So you no longer wife of Yashoda. So when he does that intense focus and intense focusing on already happening breath, so he moved to that infrared frequency consciousness and holding that consciousness here, automatically you can levitate. Okay. So anyone have any questions? So levitation means, so you are taking your ability or you are utilizing your 100% your yellow brain ability. That means your entire neuron net firing will happening. That makes you to levitate. Okay. So that means you are using your brain 100%. That is called Buddha. Buddha is the person who uses his brain 100%. You call it as a Buddha. 100% activation of brain. That person we call it as a Buddha. One is Gautam Buddha. Second one is Maitreya Buddha. So Maitreya Buddha is nothing none other than Subhash Patrish. Okay. So I think if we have enough time for any time in future, we can connect. So some other time we can connect and I can explain briefly. I think time is completed, right?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ajay. I know it's a deep subject. The time is, but it covered pretty well. I know we need
So
to.
we can interpret, ma'am. For example, now you have sound box, right? Sound box. For example, if you are keeping on song at 98.3 FM radio, you are channeling and the sound is coming through your sound box. For example, if you enhance or increase your sound box to maximum level, your sound box will vibrate, right? Have you observed? It will vibrate. Similarly, when you increase your frequency, not frequency, it will increase your volume. That means you are increasing your thought process. So still you are in brain, not in midbrain also. If you go to midbrain, you will go to astral travel. Physical body will be here, but you will go to different body. Within same body, you are holding that highest level of frequency. That means still you are in 91.3 FM radio, but you are increasing the volume of that. It is vibrating your physical body. Similarly, highest possibility of your neuron at this brain, this part of brain is holding infrared frequency of thought. If you're holding that thought, so that future thought, your body will levitate. That is the maximum expression of your physical body.
Yeah, I mean, it's like higher concepts. So I heard like 3 years ago from Allah Bakshu Master. That I listened, I did not understand much, but now while you are explaining, it makes little sense to me. So
Yeah.
first, people who are listening, it will take some time. Maybe you can go and listen one more time. So it will take some
Simply,
time. Just be
this,
open mind, listen.
yeah.
Once we reach to
And
certain.
we didn't understand algebra, or we didn't understand syntax we didn't understand so many things in starting, right? In our mathematics. After 1 year of practice, you understand. You understand algebra, you understand your mathematics. At least 70% you passed, right? Similarly, if you can read 3-4 days this book, you can understand easily. You know volumes, you know frequency, you know music, but you don't relate to terms. But at least you have some subject, so we can understand easily. So it is our past, madam. The entire thing is our past. This is our present moment. All subconscious brain. It doesn't know past, future. It is always it will react. So that's why power of subconscious brain. This is called it as a god. Whatever you think, it will manifest. Okay, it is our future, midbrain, pineal gland. So always inclined to future. So that's why you in future you can see your high probabilities. You can see what is happening in your future while doing astral travel or third visions. So it will go to future and present and whatever you want to make it, you can make it with your midbrain. This is psychic brain. It is our past or your personality. This is our godly nature. So this is our soul abilities. Okay, so you can think in terms of that. So you are changing your destiny here. That's why this is called Vidrata, Brahmarata, right? So all our destiny is here. So if we change that pattern, if we change that thinking pattern, so we can change your destiny.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ajay. Friends, if you want to ask any questions or share your views, you can unmute yourself and talk.
Thank you, Ajay Garu. First of all, thank you so much for coming on this platform, and thanks to Sirisha for bringing Ajay. So yeah, definitely, it's the connecting of dots between like physiology, and then like how it applies to the spirituality is like one slide itself. I think we need one whole session. So the first slide, yeah. True, and it's beautifully explained. I mean, you try to squeeze in lot of great information. Definitely, I wanted to go back again and listen it, because yeah, it's not a simple concept for sure, especially after taking a break from college after so many years. Like it's little heavy subject.
Actually, we
I
study for
just want.
marks. We didn't study to understand. That's unfortunate thing. I did that also. Same thing. We studied for marks. We studied for to learn, apply it. So
Yeah.
where is your anger, man? Where is your anger? Where is your happiness? Everything happening in your brain, which is through hormones. Hormone is the expression of emotion. Hormonal is you feel that emotion, right? So everything happens on brains, but we're not studying brain. We are studying AIs. We're studying everything. We're studying great concept, but we're not studying our brain. We're not understanding our brain. This is the ultimate.
So,
That's why we should not. We should take copper water because copper is the highest firing ability. Copper conducts highest conductivity, right? So that's why you should take copper water or alkaline water. And sometimes you should not cook your food in this aluminum vessels. It will spoil your third pineal gland, right? These things are important. So that's why olden days they kept that vessels not aluminum. Recently they introduced aluminum, but earlier it was not aluminum, right? It was copper. Clay
right.
pots,
Yeah, it was mainly like
clay
bronze.
pots,
Yeah.
bronze, clay pots, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, very nice. Do you suggest some books on levitating Buddha? Like you are showing some PDFs, right? Can you
So
refer?
I think in order to understand levitation Buddha, you should understand Ramtha's easy book is called Beginner's Guide to Create Your Reality. That's a fundamental book. It explains what other level of consciousness we have, exactly who we are, how can we create our reality. That's a beginner's guide to create our reality. That's a fundamental book of Ramtha. We should study that. Once you study that, so you can able to understand. The second book is called Brain book. Brain book is there. So Brain is the ultimate reality of reality. That is the second book. If you read those two books, your entire spirituality will understand. Any Buddhism, any Jainism, any we call it Vedas, Upanishad, we can understand anything. So that's the two books I refer. One is Beginner's Guide to Create Your Reality. Second is Brain, that creator of law of the thought.
What is the second one?
Brain. I'll tell the exact name.
Just the brain. Okay.
And I'll tell the exact name.
Okay.
So the brain, the creator of reality and lofty life. Okay. So the brain is a prison, right? So we limited with our brain. So when you increase the knowledge when you give the knowledge to people. So my question is, who is learning that knowledge? Your personality is learning. Your mind is learning. Whatever the knowledge you are sharing, your soul is not learning. Your mind is learning. It will apply into life. Soul will take the experience. Your brain is learning. Your personality is learning that language, which is limited. When you give that knowledge to your personality will increase and it will become unlimited because your mind is taking that knowledge.
Yeah.
Your personality is taking that knowledge.
Yeah.
Which is actually in prison. Your soul is in prison in personality. When the personality breaks by giving this knowledge, your soul gets free. Your spirit will get free.
True. Yeah. Unless until you apply to it, it will not become a wisdom. It will just
Knowledge.
as a
Just knowledge. Just knowledge.
Yeah.
So knowledge becomes philosophy when you contemplate that. When you contemplate knowledge, it will become your philosophy, your way of understanding. When you apply it in practice, it will become experience. From experience, you will get wisdom. Wisdom, you get truth.
Very nice. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ajay Garu, you said like front is past the top of the head is like future and the back lower cerebellum is subconscious mind. You said right?
Now state, all possibilities.
So like, is there any like way to activate whatever the portion we want to activate, or
That's how your breath will come picture. So when you observe your natural breath, directly you are moving midbrain. Where your cosmic energy getting? Your cosmic energy getting to midbrain, it is activating pituitary gland directly. First it will does that only. When your Sahasrara opens, that means your pituitary gland activates by your cosmic energy. When you observe natural breath, you are transcending your personality. No longer consciousness here. When I am talking, my consciousness is here, not here. When I want to speak, when I want to move, my consciousness should be here. When I'm not moving, when I'm not speaking, when I'm not saying, obviously this has doesn't have any work because we are closing our hands, closing our eyes, we're not doing anything. When you observe your breath, slowly, your consciousness moving from here to midbrain. When consciousness move to your midbrain, your pituitary gland taking that cosmic energy. By taking that cosmic energy, it is activating. When pituitary gland activating, automatically it will activate the pineal immediately. From pineal, it will activate the thyroid, thymus. Similarly, it will activate all other glands. So this is a structure.
Oh, okay. So, but you said like the front part is past, but you are also saying that it will think or whatever,
Yeah.
like we
So
want to
yeah,
listen or talk.
correct.
That front part works again, or
It works. Past means you understand. It will think in terms of past perspective. You got it. For example, I gave money to some people. Okay, so maybe they didn't give me back. When I want to give money to next person, another person, it will think in terms of past perspective. Okay, if I give money to that person, maybe we won't give again because I already had that experience.
oh, okay.
So these past attitudes, past belief systems, or what is happening in all your past, it is located here. If you change that, if you convert that, or if you convert into unlimited thinking, so no longer you're inclined to past. For example, even though 10 people not giving money to back to you, so if you again giving that, you're breaking that routine, breaking that habit, right? So obviously,
11th time also you want to lose.
correct. Conscious. You should have habit, you should use conscious decision. That's why Iruka is very important, awareness is very important.
Oh, okay.
You're changing that habits, changing the pattern, changing the break. Breaking the habit is very important. That's the
So
greatest
how
benefit.
to acquire that habit, Andy?
So, but conscious, sir, conscious effort. For example, every day you're waking up, you're taking your phone with left hand, drinking water with right hand, brushing with this hand. Consciously do it with this hand. Consciously wake up at different time. Consciously eat with, sometimes eat with chewing with right side, chewing with left side. Try to write with left hand. So change your remote with left hand. Operate your phone with left hand. Something doing that consciously, you can change that. Break.
Oh, okay.
So consciousness is very important. Awareness is very important. When you are movement of when you hold that awareness, when awareness is the third level of consciousness, visible light frequency. When you have that consciousness, you can change your decision, you can change your actions by consciously. Awareness is the lack. So awareness you get from meditation or practice.
Okay.
That's why the Joe Dispenza is there, right? He's the student of Ramtha. He wrote that breaking the habits, or over the principle. The great books comes from Joe Dispenza, right? He is the student of Ramtha. That's why he recovered from that major injury.
Okay. Can you type those book names, whatever you suggested, so that
So
we...
beginners guide to create your reality. That is the first one. I think PDFs I'll share because online, if you want to be so cost, so 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, something like that, Indian currency. So
Oh,
I think
okay.
his brain, creator of lofty thought and lofty life. So that's the two books. You understand your physical body, you understand your any spiritual concept, you can understand better.
Are there any audiobooks also on those, or
Audiobooks, I don't think so. We won't understand much that, I think. So I think that is a separate one-on-one class. We need to pay so much money in order to listen to those videos, but we don't share that. Books we can share. So we can share.
okay.
That's a special class you should take it. So one-on-one class we call it. There's a course by Ramtha School of Enlightenment, RSS school. They cost so much. But my friends used to share me that group. I used to listen, but we should not share that. So only I can
Okay.
share PDFs. So PDFs you can read and understand. If you have any doubts, you can catch.
Okay, Andy.
But you should understand your reality in terms of brain. That's how you can change your where you're changing your personality in your brain. This is the king. This is the kingdom. Every action will be done here. Decision will be taken here. Automatically, the corresponding hormone will be released here, right? So this is a processing unit, central processing unit in computer concept.
Yeah, got it, Andy.
Yeah, thank you, Ajay. Even Shreyans Daga, who is the
Correct.
founder of Pyramid Valley International, he is also a student of Ramtha.
Perfect. He introduced that group.
Yeah, I think he bought the white book
Ramtha, America to
PSS.
Patricia.
So he's the one introduced
He
Ramtha.
went to Ramtha school and I visited that place and he bought that book.
Yeah. Yeah, many students like friends, if you want to know who is Ramtha, just introduction Ajay took the session 2 months ago, so it's there in PMCUSA. You can go back and listen that, so that you'll understand who is Ramtha, who is JJ Knight, how the wisdom came. So you have some basic idea about who is Ramtha.
Sure,
Anybody?
Anna.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody wants to ask or share anything?
Yeah, it's very informative and a very high level, but you gave at least like concepts. It's very helpful actually. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and bringing Ramtha Wisdom on PMCUSA platform. So
Thank you.
we are looking forward more sessions from you. So
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you, friends. Thank you all for joining. Tomorrow we'll meet with another wonderful master. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Sirisha, for hosting. Thank you.
Thank you, Pushpa, for this opportunity.